Hello guys, full time here at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Got quite a few thoughts on that game, a lot to summarise. I always thought a score draw was a significant likelihood because a draw was sort of the result that suited everybody, right? In that Arsenal couldn't afford to lose the game, that much was clear. And for Liverpool, a point here is a very good result. You know, keeps a bit of distance between us and them, they stay above us. They stay within touch of Man City. We're a bit depleted as well, so I thought chance of that. Fancied to be a score draw, couldn't see us keeping them out. Not sure I saw them keeping us out either. You know, we have real attacking threat and players who can hurt them, particularly in areas where they're a bit more vulnerable, like in behind the fullbacks. Obviously, when you've led for a long period of game, and when you've produced a performance like the one Arsenal did in the first half, it's disappointing, right, not to win. You want to take 3 points from that. Anytime you concede a late equaliser, it's going to be disappointing. But I've got to offer some mitigation there because watching that second half and seeing things go against us, seeing the momentum shift in Liverpool's direction, looking at the makeshift back four we finished the game with, you know, I have to say that I feared this was a game we could lose, even having had a winning position for so much of it. And that would have been a disastrous result. I really can't stress that enough. You know, 7 points off Liverpool, 6 off City, a really hard run of games to come, which we'll talk about soon. I think that could have been really damaging. And damaging for morale and generally the mood around the club. Let's go back and talk about the first half. Arsenal were brilliant. Look, we got Timber out there in the starting 11. We got Saka out there, and what an impact he made. Captain on the day, Bukayo Saka, scored a beautiful goal. Lovely ball over the top from Ben White. Takes it inside, leaves Andy Robertson on his bum, and bends it into the top corner. Just a sensational goal from a sensational talent. Don't really know what more you can say about Saka. He's superb. Then there were 2 set-piece goals in the half. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure we could have done a great deal about ours. Good flat delivery. I thought Diaz did really well at the near post to win the flick on. And Van Dijk gets there first. And look, you're always frustrated to concede from a set-piece, but good delivery, good flick. They get the break and they get the equaliser. But we get one too, right? Declan Rice, who delivered an inch-perfect cross from Marino, maybe should have done a bit better earlier in the half, repeated the trick. Liverpool weren't wise to it, and a good header for Marino for his first Arsenal goal. 2-1 at half-time, perfect time to score, and you're feeling good about life. But Liverpool are always going to have a period where they're on top. They didn't perform to their potential in the first half. I always suspected they would have a spell in the second half. They did at the start of the second half, and it changed the momentum of the game. Then I think you get a really big moment when Gabriel comes off injured. You know, I can't think of the last time in the Premier League we didn't have either Saliba or Gabriel on the pitch. And I think it sapped our performance somewhat, our performance levels. And it left us vulnerable to balls over the top. And that's what Liverpool equalised from in the end. But, you know, we looked a bit stretched and we looked tired. You know, these are players who've been playing quite frequently down to 10 men. You know, getting through a lot of work. Guys who've just come back from injury. Timber was never going to last 90 minutes. Saka was never going to last 90 minutes. You know, Marino's just coming back from injury himself, still settling into the Premier League. Thomas Partey playing a full game at right back and doing very well, by the way. But, you know, in an ideal world, I don't think you want him on that pitch as long as he was. But we don't have the options. We don't have the depth right now, particularly at the back. We finish with, I think, Partey, White, Kiwior and Lewis Skelly, who again got on ahead of Alexander Zinchenko. Something interesting happening there. Is Zinchenko fit? You know, he's been in the squad, I think, 3 times, not been used. Lewis Skelly's got on every occasion. Has he moved ahead of Zinchenko in the pecking order? I'm not sure. He was tangentially involved in the equaliser, shall we say. Played a ball into Martinelli, a nice ball up the line. That's exactly what you want him to do. Martinelli, who looked knackered by that point in time, takes a poor touch. Liverpool regain possession, and then that ball, as I say, is on into the channel. Lewis Skelly, we know the sort of left back he is. We know he's going to get forward, invert, leave that space in behind. Kiwior, not as quick as Gabriel when it comes to getting there, cutting it out. Nunes gets there, plays in Salah. You don't need to know anything else, right? Mohamed Salah's a class act, and he makes it 2-2. And that's when I feared for us. That's when I feared we might lose the game. I mean, look, we might have won it too. It looked like a very soft call when Kai Havertz ended up bundling the ball into the net, a foul against Kiwior. Should have had a corner in stoppage time, and you know how good we can be on set pieces. Given us a goal kick, infuriatingly. But there you go, it finishes 2-2. It's not a bad result. It's not a bad result. I think given how depleted we are, given how tired and stretched we look in that second half, I would have taken it before. I didn't subscribe to the idea this was a game that Arsenal absolutely had to win, but I did subscribe to the idea it was one they could not lose, and thankfully they did not lose. But, and there is a but, if you want to win the Premier League, you need breaks. However good you are, especially if you're not Man City and you don't have the resources, maybe the manager, maybe some of the players that they have, you need breaks to go your way. We're coming up towards the end of October. I have to share with you my feeling that Arsenal aren't getting the breaks that you need to win a Premier League title against Man City. I'm talking about refereeing decisions, sendings off, suspensions, injuries, in-game decisions. Maybe like that Kai Havertz and give you a moment tonight that might have made it 3-2. And I think I have to be honest and say that Arsenal have had breaks over the last couple of years in order to maintain those title challenges against City. They have had breaks. You know, they have had periods where they've kept their most important players fit. They have had, last season for example, Saliba and Gabriel anchoring the defence the entire year. They've been able to call on Martin Odegaard regularly, their captain, their chief playmaker. They haven't needed an obvious alternative for him in the squad because they've had him. And those breaks aren't happening. Those breaks aren't happening. And as I say, decisions counting against us a little bit at this point in time. And injuries. Injuries keep happening. So it's not to say it's not going to happen. It's not to say we won't win the league. But I'm sharing with you as a supporter and as an analyst my view that at this early stage, I'm not seeing the portents, the signs that this is our year. Could all change if Man City get a 20-point deduction or a relegation in the spring. But right now, and I don't wish to be defeatist or deflated, I just feel like the things that you need to go your way, the marginal calls, the marginal moments, aren't quite. I'm thinking about City's late equaliser, in that game, or Trossard sending off even in the same game. I just feel like every time Arsenal flip a coin at the moment, they're getting the result they didn't want. And we had little spells like that last season, the 2 games that we lost just before New Year, where variance went against us and we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But I think this season it feels like more of a trend. The fates seem a bit against us. Just my own personal feeling. You may disagree. Still all to play for. Very hard games coming up. The next 3, I think I'm right in saying, we've got the Carabao game, and then it's Chelsea, Newcastle first away, then Inter away, then Chelsea away. Ooh, tough, testing, especially for a stretch squad. So let's see how we come through that. If we win all those games, the mood will change and I'll look a fool. It's happened before. It's happened many times. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch up with you all soon. A lot to analyse in this game, a lot to get your teeth into. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think I'm being fair in my assessment? Chat after the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.